You know, I really didn't want to do a segment on the Conway's family again, but I've talked about this in the past, and I just got to do it. I don't know if it's something y'all are going to be interested in, but we got to talk about family responsibility, and I'm pretty I'm not happy with Kellyanne Conway and the Conway family because their daughter is posting inflammatory garbage because she's desperate for her dad's affection. If you haven't followed this, the gist of it is Claudia Conway is the daughter of the Conways, and she's basically posting these social media things about how her mom's dumb and she's got COVID, and she's saying things like our president's a moron. She's posted in the past that her dad doesn't care about her, basically, and that he doesn't even know her middle name, and it's really sad. And then she goes off on a tangent, desperately trying to be like him. I'm kind of upset that journalists have continued to enable this. Like I said, I really don't want to be doing a segment about a 15-year-old's TikTok posts, but you've got a very, very high-profile family. You've got the media using their daughter's begging for help from her father for attention as a political ploy, and I think the whole thing is gross. The Conways need to take their daughter's phone from her and be parents, but they're not. It's just getting sad. I'm just going to say it again. The pathetic and desperate cry from their daughter needs to be addressed. I wasn't trying to be as mean the last time I talked about this, but these stories don't stop coming. The journalists are exploiting the family because it's chaotic traffic, and her parents aren't doing anything to stop this. This is real. Look, man, a lot of people talk about Trump and decorum. I talk about Trump and his behavior, and it's bad for America. Yeah, I get it, man. And this is just the icing on top. Stop this now. The first thing that needs to happen is the Conways need to go to their daughter and take her phone from her. There are some adults who should have their phones taken away too, but they're adults and they can say the stupid things. Children have to have discipline, okay? Their parents need to teach them. Now, I think there's some value in young people engaging in mature conversations about politics. And I think that will help them, develop a strong mind. But when you have a 15-year-old who is being exploited by the resistance class because she's crying that her dad won't pay attention to her, I am ready to vomit in my mouth at how disgusting the entire media apparatus is. And yes, some blame for the family of the Conways. Here's the first story, and then I'll take you to the point about how this poor kid is 15, and she's basically like she may as well be crying on camera. President Donald Trump's former advisor, Kellyanne Conway, has tested positive for COVID. The news was first revealed by her teenage daughter, Claudia, in a TikTok video, but Conway later took to Twitter to confirm. It comes days after Conway attended, blah, blah, blah. Update, my mom has COVID, says Claudia Conway. Tonight I tested positive, says Kellyanne, so we confirmed this. I have begun quarantine process in consultation with physicians. Her 15-year-old daughter, Claudia, began to speculate that the former White House advisor may have been infected in a string of videos posted on TikTok. My mom coughing all around the house after Trump tested positive for COVID, she wrote in the first video as she lip-synced to the lines of, that's weird, that's suspicious. When my lungs hurt and it's hard for me to breathe, she wrote on the next, revealing that she's also experiencing coronavirus symptoms. She later posted a singing video returning to Trump and his positive coronavirus test. I don't wish ill on anybody but the irony, she said, predicting it. I hope the Lysol cures him, Claudia added as she played a line from Tuesday's debate, because the joke is that Trump said to inject bleach, which he never said. In the next video, Claudia confirmed her mother's positive test. Bye, I'm done. I'll see you all in 2 weeks, she wrote. I'm furious. Wear your masks. Don't listen to our idiot effing president, piece of S. Protect yourself and those around you, she added. The teenager is a vocal critic of the president, despite her mom's previous prominent role in his administration. Claudia became a viral star on TikTok after she began to criticize the White House and her family's involvement. In one of her latest videos, she urged people to go out and vote. If you will be eligible to vote by November 3rd and you haven't registered to vote already, please, please, please register, she said. It's super important to exercise your right that you have as an American in this country. Please vote. I'm going to stop right there and counter that with something I think Mike Rowe said. Maybe it was Mike Rowe. He said, you also have the right to own a gun. Doesn't mean you should go out and buy one and use it. Okay? I believe everyone has the right to vote. And I also believe it's very important that people do their research and know who they're voting for. There was this really funny moment. A trans Satanist anarchist ran as a Republican for sheriff and actually won because she was running unopposed. I think because the individual might be going by they. That's what I'm trying to clarify. But this trans Satanist anarchist won. People just checked off the box. So it's more important you're educated and you don't just vote for random people. But more to the point, Claudia Conway is 15. She doesn't care about Trump. She doesn't know anything about Trump. The only thing she knows about politics is what she hears from her mom and her dad. And her dad is this anti-Trump guy on social media. Here's the story from back in August. How 15-year-old Claudia Conway took over social media from bashing Trump and TikToks to trolling her parents on Twitter. You know what, man? They say on the evening of blah, blah, blah. Let me just jump right to the main point. Here's a quote. I can tell you, being their daughter, they don't give it an S. Like, they don't give a S, she said in the clip. My dad doesn't care about me. He's never cared about me. He probably doesn't even know my middle name. She said something like, it's sad, but it's true. Now, most of you know you've got Kellyanne, who worked for the president. She stepped down because of all of this. And you also know her dad, the Lincoln Project, George Conway, also goes on Twitter and screeches about how awful the president is. I'm sorry, man. You may be a fan of Kellyanne. She seems nice. George, I'm sure, is a very nice person as well. But when it comes to this level of politics, it's one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I don't care if y'all get mad at me. Family is important. And airing your family's dirty laundry is very bad. And having a 15-year-old with no parents to look after her, to provide her with discipline, and I'm just saying, like, take her phone away, who's begging her dad. It's disgusting. It's disappointing. It is gross. I think it's important that young people are exposed to politics and to an understanding of the world outside of their social circles. I think it's very strange that we talk about the importance of schooling because kids get socialized. Why is it a good thing if they're surrounded by a bunch of kids saying a bunch of dumb things who don't know anything? No, kids should be around many different people, including kids and adults, so they understand how the world works. So I actually will say, in terms of Claudia being on social media and hearing about the stuff, there's benefit to this. The problem is she's not just listening, she's screaming, and she's not screaming about Trump. It reminds me of Watchmen. You ever see the movie Watchmen or read the comic? When the bad guy is talking about the dude, Dr. Manhattan. He's this guy who's got crazy powers, and he seems to be emotionless. But Ozymandias says, you know, you can basically see it in his face. He may as well have been crying. When I hear about Claudia Conway posting about these things, and we know that she said, my parents don't care about me, my dad doesn't even know my name, I can tell you what she's really saying. She's probably crying when she gets off social media because her parents aren't there for her. Now, she can take beef with Kellyanne, but the real issue, and it's very obvious, and I'm not going to pretend to be like an armchair psychiatrist or anything, it's her dad, man. If Claudia wanted attention from her mom, she would be praising Trump. But she wants attention from her dad, a man she says doesn't even know her name. What does it take for them to finally intervene and stop this? Because it's just going to keep happening. I mean, she doesn't, I can't imagine what it's going to be like for this kid when she's 25 and everything she ever posted is going to be public and she's going to be really embarrassed about it. But it's interesting. It's almost like child stars. Okay, you have people who are child actors and actresses and they grow up and they're stars. Many of them, it does not go well. Because when kids are young, there's a value in what they have. They're cute young kids. Many of them become awkward and weird-looking teenagers and get thrown to the wayside. That makes them go insane. I know because I know people who have gone through this. Right now, Kellyanne's daughter, Claudia, is politically useful to the resistance. She's crying that her dad won't talk to her and won't give her attention and doesn't know her name, and I'm being figurative. So she screams, "Orange man bad, I can be like you too, please notice me." So they use her. And she's going to be 25, and she's going to realize what a terrible world this is and how she was used. They propped her up, they gave her followers, and her parents didn't care. Her dad still doesn't care. So now she's like just posting on social media, and I'm grossed out by it. I'm grossed out by all of it. I don't think it's going to stop either. And it's not going to stop with the Conways. Earlier, I gave praise to the Conways because Kellyanne and George mentioned they were stepping back from their roles to take care of family. Well, apparently not enough. Kids should not be I don't think parents should be spanking their kids and stuff like that. I know there's controversy around that. I just think a parent says, I'm taking your phone from you because you're a child and you are hurting yourself by doing this. If your kid was cutting, you'd stop them. You'd get them help. Her parents clearly aren't. So listen, I got no beef for Claudia. I'm actually sad for her. It seems like she's trying really hard to be like her dad, hoping that he'll just finally notice her. That's sad, dude. That's real sad. And then her dad is just some trash, garbage father who's more concerned about running a trash website to smear the president. I know he said he was stepping down. And what's Kellyanne doing? I don't know, man. I'm done on this stuff. Family's important. You need to guide your kids and protect them, sometimes from themselves. I'll see you on the next segment coming up in a few minutes.